Chapter 33. The Choice. The chamber trembled, not violently, but with a deep, resonant instability that seemed to echo from the very bones of the world. Energy currents spiraled unpredictably through the containment lattice, their glow shifting between brilliant gold and uneasy violet. Elara stood at the center of it all, light gathering instinctively around her hands, responding not to command but to need. Across from her, Kaelen anchored himself in quiet stillness, shadows flowing outward like roots seeking stability. Between them, the tether blazed, a living bridge under strain. "Field stability dropping," an engineer called. "Anchor resonance escalating beyond modeled thresholds." The chamber filled with overlapping voices, urgent, uncertain. Thane watched the data streams, tension finally visible beneath his composed exterior. Elara stepped forward. "This is your last chance. Shut it down." Thane hesitated, just long enough to reveal the weight of the moment. "If we stop now," he said quietly, "we remain vulnerable." Kaelen's voice was steady. "If you continue," he said, "you may have no city left to protect." A sudden surge rippled through the lattice. The tether flared, heat and pressure rushing through Elara like a tide pulling in opposite directions. She gasped, dropping briefly to one knee. Pain lanced through her, not merely physical but emotional, as if the bond itself were being stretched toward breaking. Kaelen stepped closer instinctively, shadows wrapping protectively around them both. "Elara," he said softly. "I'm here," she replied through clenched teeth. Closing her eyes, she reached inward, beyond the chamber, beyond the city, into the vast network connecting sky and shadow. She felt fear among the citizens, confusion rippling through luminous pathways. She felt the anchor stirring, ancient and patient, now alert. And she felt Kaelen, steady, unwavering, like a constant star in the shifting currents. The realization came with quiet clarity. Balance was not something imposed, it was chosen. Elara rose slowly, light gathering around her, not dazzling but warm, like dawn breaking through storm clouds. She turned to the council. "You cannot build stability through isolation, only through trust." Melis stepped forward, her voice soft but firm. "She speaks truth," she said. Thane looked between them at the trembling readings, the growing instability, the tether blazing like a beacon. "What would you have us do?" he asked. Elara met his gaze. "Release control," she said. Silence fell. The low resonance deepened, a reminder that time was narrowing. Thane's jaw tightened. Then, slowly, he nodded. "Deactivate partition sequence," he said. Engineers moved quickly. Containment rings dimmed slightly, tension easing but not yet resolved. Still, instability lingered, feedback loops continuing to ripple through the system. Elara felt it clearly. The imbalance needed more than cessation. It needed healing. She turned to Kaelen. "We must restore the flow," she said. He nodded. Together. They stepped forward as one, light and shadow intertwining naturally, guided by instinct rather than force. Elara wove strands of luminous energy into the lattice, redirecting currents into stable pathways. Kaelen extended shadow currents deep into the network, grounding fluctuations and absorbing excess resonance. The tether glowed brilliantly, gold and twilight harmonizing into a steady pulse. Across the chamber, instruments began to stabilize, energy levels normalizing, feedback decreasing. A collective breath seemed to release. But then, one final surge, stronger than before, a ripple from the anchor itself, testing, assessing. Elara felt the immense presence brushing against her awareness. Not hostile, curious, waiting. She stepped forward, opening herself fully to the connection. "I understand," she whispered. "We are listening." The surge softened, currents aligned. Light flowed smoothly through the lattice. The low vibration faded into quiet harmony. The system stabilized. Thane exhaled slowly, tension leaving his posture. "It appears," he said quietly, "that cooperation is not weakness." Elara smiled faintly. "It never was." Later, as the chamber gradually emptied, Elara stood at the edge of the platform, exhaustion settling into her limbs. Kaelen joined her. "You chose trust," he said. She looked at him. "We both did." The tether pulsed softly, no longer strained, but calm. Beyond the chamber, Aethelgard's glow steadied, its light softer, deeper, alive with renewed balance. Citizens emerged onto terraces, sensing the shift, even if they did not fully understand it. A quiet hope spread. Elara gazed out across the city, her home, now transformed by understanding rather than fear. "The future begins now," she said softly. Kaelen nodded. "Yes," he said, "together." The storm had passed, but its lessons would endure.